Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube. Well, this is my YouTube anymore. It's a universal live, and my girls are eating. Welcome one, welcome all. If you're new here, please like, comment, follow, share, or subscribe. Do any of those things because I would greatly appreciate it. It helps get my platform out there more to people just like yourself. So, with that being said, now I know I'm a day late. I'm a day late, and I'm just gonna let you know now to be quiet. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm so sorry, you guys. I know I was supposed to be here yesterday, but I still was writing down the notes, and it was so much going on yesterday that I couldn't even really like put into words what to come on live to say. For us, I say that, and I just wanted to make sure that I was at like I knew everything that I could know in order to get to, you know what I'm saying, a place of general understanding and, feeling like I'm more of a mentor and not more of a author of confusion. Do you know what I'm saying? So, hold on. I look lost. But yeah, like I was saying, I just wanted to get into something. Can you guys hear me? I don't know if why is it like that? Can I turn it up? Hello? Hello? Hold on. Can you guys hear me? Hold on. Testing one, two, three. I heard that. Okay, so y'all can hear me. Cool beans. I just want to make sure the audio was working because the way it looks on my computer is like it's not working. But yeah, so we're gonna really just hop right in. So on the first day of the week, we're starting off with the 19th of February, right? So I'm going to go back because it was a lot of stuff that I saw that happened that really was very interesting to me for the things to come with the month of February in this specific. It's a lot of things that I just wasn't expecting. So, as you can see, today isn't really too bad. It's some type of movement for some type of expansive energy, especially with the two trines, with the sun and the moon and Saturn and Jupiter. You see a lot of you see more movement in the beginning of the day, or maybe in the beginning of the week before you see it in the end, because the end of the week is a lot more crazier than the beginning of the week, which is well, the middle of the week is crazier than the beginning. So this is what I wrote down. I said that Pluto is in Aquarius in the third house at 0 degrees. Now, this is Western astrology and this is also East Coast astrology. So make sure that you guys, when you're taking this into account, Make sure you're looking at the places that you are at and what type of astrology you're looking into, because this is whole sign as well. Well, no, this isn't whole sign. I think this is Placidus. Placidus. I think it's Placidus. Placidus. Something like that. And so I said subconscious ruling the pack. I said because if you look very closely, no other planet is in front of Pluto. So that to me already means that it's like a power dynamic that's going on in the world right now. A very strong minded, I do this, this goes this way. 80/44, as I say that I go and do this way, you do what I tell you to do, and we're gonna keep it pushing, and we're gonna have order, and we're gonna have it's going to be decency and in order. That's what I'm hearing, in decency and order. But the what I got for the day, like the meaning, was I was right the first time, but it's better to check anyways. I don't know why. Maybe you're double checking on this day. Maybe you're looking for so yesterday you could have been double checking for stuff, or maybe you could have been misplacing a lot more things more than often, or whatever the case may be. But you were probably watchful of the things you were doing, like being extra careful with stuff. Hold on, because you see she got on her lashes today. Hold on, hold on. She got on her lashes today, girl. She got on her lashes today, darling. You see the lashes, darling? Because my niece was playing with them, and I was like, girl, I have been waiting to wear those. Like, I forgot to wear them, but I've been waiting to wear these. So don't play with me. Put them back. Okay? Thank you. So, like, let's get back to the tea. So I said, power struggle. Um, and then I also said power being brought back to the people, which this could just simply mean starting to recognize the imbalance in power, and it could be money power, spending power, buying power, um, things along that nature, especially with I don't know if that's I should zoom in a little bit more, but I don't think I can. Oh, I can. Never mind. I just can't see myself now. But if you look very closely, or if you zoom into the picture, um, it's a conjunction between Pluto and Venus, and Pluto and Mars, and then it's a conjunction between Pluto and Venus. I mean, Venus and Mars, but it's a conjunction between Pluto and Mars, right? So this automatically to me means, like I said, some type of power struggle. This person is trying to rule everybody, like subtly, like under the surface. You're not going to really see it coming, because it's something that they're planning and scheming. Something is being schemed, honey. Something something is being planned, I guess you can say. Especially with that 3 degrees, you're trying to find out how to expand, how do you get this show on the road, how to get this situation going. But it's like you got to get it going by, excuse me, by putting yourself out there, maybe, or showing that you have confidence or strength. I'm feeling the strength card right now. Um, and it's saying something about not letting people get in the way of what you want and what you think you can accomplish, because there will always be competition. It just, you have to learn to set aside for yourself, so that you know exactly what it is that you're doing it for. And that's what I got for that. So Venus is in the third house in Aquarius at 3 degrees. So it's a lot of three energy, which definitely is, like I said, Jupiter energy, definitely. Um, it says, love thy neighbor as you would love yourself. So you could be giving back to the community, honestly. You could be trying to, venture off into maybe volunteer work, because I know I have to get back into volunteer work, especially with doing college hours and things of that nature. Getting into volunteer work, getting to more extracurricular activities or intramurals. Um, And it also says finding love that can withstand the test of time. So it could be a situation where you feel like you can't just stay stuck in a situation with somebody if it's not genuine um, feelings there, or you don't want to be stuck with someone that you can't, you know, um, have a good sense of communication or a good sense of clarity there with the person, because if it's always a bunch of confusion, then what are you doing with each other type of energy. So you could be breaking it off with someone, or you could be bringing someone in, especially with that Venusian energy in conflict with the Mars energy. So it's like you're trying to find your perfect match, or not even perfect match, you're trying to find someone that matches your energy, and doesn't play with you. And the people that you're seeing right now are ahead of you, and you're like, well, you're trying to like step on my toes kind of energy. And I'm just trying to, show you how to, the ropes of how to dance. You know what I'm saying? Think of the analogy, to catch the analogy. Um, like it's saying, especially with that, I don't know, cause oh yeah, Venus and Mars are both squaring Venus. Venus and Mars are both squaring Jupiter. So that automatically gives me like they don't want to see you grow. They don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you be happy. They probably don't want to learn how to dance. They probably don't want to learn how to, do the cha cha or the salsa dance. They don't want to learn how to do those dances because like I always say, this is a saying, this is not an old saying, this is a saying that I personally say that I personally came up with. You cannot teach an old dog new tricks unless they go out and get the leash. It's just it's a simple fact that if that person doesn't want to personally see their change or personally see their evolution or revolution, if you will, how in the heck are you going to see their revolution? Because they can't see it for themselves. Sometimes I think in life we can sometimes see other people's potential, and then yet and still we can't see our own potential. So it's probably a lot of energy around self-love, self-expansiveness, getting back into oneself, helpful energy, helping one another, helping those who help you. And one thing, like I said, that I'm looking at is the two squares on Jupiter, because it's honestly giving opposition energy. Like it's people that are literally trying to almost as if oppose this type of growth, oppose this type of, abundance that you have for yourself, which is just uh, crazy. So it's like just be watchful and be mindful of maybe who you tell your business to, or um, who you tell your business around, or anything regarding business. I don't know why, but with that Jupiter and Taurus energy, is giving me like as if like you have dreams to build a big business, or handle big business, and it's people that are um, masculine or feminine that are trying to oppose your ideas, or even trying to compete with your ideas, trying to take your ideas. So you got to be very watchful of who you say things to and what you say. So it says conjunct in Aquarius at 0 degrees. It says Venus is in friction, slowly brewing or coming to the head. And then I said square Jupiter and Taurus at 9 degrees. To me, the nine stood out honestly, because if you look at the astrology chart, you see a couple of nines, you see a couple of sevens, you see a couple of eights, but you see a couple of fours, but it's very, very almost repetitive. Like you start to see repeating numbers. You see a couple of zeros, maybe even. Um, and you realize like, is this synchronistic or is this coincidental? Now, this is going to be a day of like coincidence probably, or yesterday was more so a day of coincidence. But in the coming days, and the reason why I'm still doing this day is because I did a lot of notes on this, and it really breaks down the rest of the week. So in the coming days, you're going to realize that it wasn't that this Monday, the coincidences say so, or so they say. Um, the coincidence coincidences, so they say, that happen on the 19th will actually become what your intuition was trying to tell you all along. So um, just be mindful of that, especially when later in the week when Pluto enters 1 degrees in Aquarius. So just be mindful of that. So Mars is hard working for others at the 4 degrees in Aquarius in the third house. This is working towards solid foundation, working towards goals, tough goals, conjunct Venus in Aquarius, and square Jupiter in Taurus at 9 degrees. Now, Mercury is at 22 degrees in Aquarius in the third house. Now, I was thinking like people could be trying to use social media to communicate more, using social media to broadcast some type of information now. So what I seen yesterday on Twitter was a lot of people exposing people. Honestly, it was a lot of exposure. Like this is the year of exposure, honey. It's the year of getting yourself out there, getting all of your dirty skeletons out of your closet before you get there, so that when you get there, you don't have to worry about old baggage. Um, and so finding new ways to communicate. So maybe we can do like some type of, like, I was thinking handshakes, or like Morse codes could be coming back up in the near future. Um, Something of the nature of maybe doing a new trend of an abbreviation phrase, or an abbreviation phrase could be coming or become a thing, like like suave, or AAV, is that what AAVE, I think is what it's called, which is African American Vernacular English, I think is what it's called. So just be mindful of, um, what it is. Maybe it might be harder to communicate with people, or harder to get something across on this day. But back to what I was saying, I was getting to a video that I saw on Twitter, and it was Monday. And I think I said I predicted it before it came out, because I had these most of these notes done before I actually started going on social media. So I said sextile to the moon, and then it's rumor has it is what I said. So it could be energy of like I said on the next one, it says celebrities coming out and being more defensive and harsh. People feeling some type of way. So I read that kind of wrong, but right at the same time. So instead of a celebrity, it could be more so of it was a songwriter that came out and talked about one of the most biggest celebrities out right now, a major celebrity out right now, and telling them about how, their songwriters don't get paid, and their camps aren't as what they seem. Everything is not what they seem working with this artist. And some people just don't get their fair share of publishing, and it's already hard because, publishing is a very major part of certain songwriters, well, all songwriters, um, source of income, that's publishing. So I found it very interesting because, coming from an artist's point of view and an artist's perspective, it very much gives me like, well, what I said was, I believe, and I could be wrong, I could be 100% wrong, but I remember, and I will go more into detail about this story later down the line, but I remember giving this person um, a little bit of Break My Soul. And it kind of went like this. It said, I just quit my job and I lost my mind. B is back and I'm sleeping real good at night. The queen's in the front and the dawn's in the back. And I said, wait, dun, 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 dun. You won't break my, you won't break my, you won't break my, you won't break my, you won't break my. And I said, well, we're going to get into that later. But um, I basically came up with parts because I'm not going to say 100% because I didn't write it down. It was a freestyle. I sung it in front of somebody. And so I was jokingly making it like, give this to somebody major, but don't let them know it was me because I'm not really a fame driven person. So, and I didn't know it was going to be given to her. I didn't know, it was going to be that big of a freaking song. But, I just thought that it was just going to be something simple, honestly. But it was something more than that. And that's just what it was. So, um, So I don't really get into that because at the time of me like actually making that video, I mean not video, freestyling that song, I was under the influence. So I'm just like, okay, maybe I do channel a lot better and I do write music better when I do am under the influence. But I black out with that specific situation when I was under the influence. So it's everything comes and goes to me with that situation. So I didn't want to. I don't want to be wrong and just 100% say that I made that song because I don't want to 100% say that. But I do recall making that like dead on the spot in the middle of the street. So is what it is. But that was very interesting. I seen a lot more of not necessarily celebrities, but groups of people coming out to really bash celebrities and let them know that the power is ours and y'all are trying to take it from us by being these big major gatekeepers and not really allowing the ones that have helped you actually get through, which is just crazy. So, as you can see, the sun right here is in Pisces. Um, the sun is in Pisces. Now, at 0 degrees, which is so interesting. Like I said, you see a lot of synchronistic numbers, a lot of zeros, um, a lot of fours, a lot of eights, a lot of nines, a lot of threes. But what I was going to get at was Pisces is the planet, not the planet. Pisces is the zodiac of illusion, deception, and also fame. So it's very interesting that people were coming out, like I said previously, about celebrities and um, what they do for that clout and that fame and that star power and all of those other things that they give themselves away in order to even attain and continue to retain that type of status. So the sun in Pisces at 0 degrees in the fourth house. It trines the moon in Cancer at 0 degrees, which is I thought was like the craziest thing ever. Yeah, I thought that was this trine right here was the craziest thing ever to me because it's like, why is it here? Like, what's so interesting? It says focusing on self love, self care. It says expanding and starting over, spending more time on the physical, mental, and the emotional. You could be getting back into spiritual like practices, or you could be getting more back into like your fantasy land or your manifestation era or your things where you are acquiring stuff more easily for you. Um Now Saturn in Pisces at 8 degrees in the fifth house is going after your dreams, seeing the lessons and illusions around yourself in your dreams, finding out info about your goals. And then I said it trines the Saturn and Pisces, Saturn and Pisces trines Jupiter and Taurus at 9 degrees. So you see how it went from a progression. So Saturn in Pisces is at 8 degrees, and yeah, like I said, Jupiter is at 9 degrees in Taurus. So you got to think of it like progression. Even though Saturn is like the Papa Bear or the big Papa of the zodiac, Jupiter is the bigger planet, so it rules a little bit more. It has a little bit more control, a little bit more energy, and the planet is about exposure, expanding, and abundance and creativity and things of that nature. So it's like energy around being benefited or being blessed because of the simple fact that you're trying to bring an awareness to a society that probably doesn't even know what's going on. It's saying that it's helping you get to your point of understanding so that you can help others to get to your point of understanding. Um, Neptune and Pisces at 26 degrees in fourth house. Is that right? 26 degrees in the fourth house. It says illusions at an all-time high. Illusions are fame being changed or exposed. And I said this, which is crazy. Like I said, illusions are of fame being changed and exposed. Square the moon in Cancer at 0 degrees. Like I said, so it says, what's done in the dark will come to the light. So beware of doing stuff behind closed doors, secretly, if it doesn't have anything positive behind it, because it will come out later in the week. Okay? Be very watchful and mindful of that. And make sure, well, this has already happened, so I'm not really too worried, you know what I'm saying? But what I will say is, it was a very interesting day yesterday. Honestly, I said a couple of things because I'll be on Twitter. So I said a couple of things that might get me in trouble later in life. But, like you said, I'm a very vocal person and I say what I want and I say how I feel. And so to we leave on until the 20th at 12 a.m., which is this is old currently, almost 12 hours old, but this is what it would look like at 12 a.m. on the 20th, which is today. Now, everything seems, hasn't moved much, but it's the subtle things that I've noticed. So you can see Venus has entered into 4 degrees. Mars has moved into 5 degrees. Mercury has went to 24 degrees. The Sun has went to 1 degrees. Um, what else? The Moon has went to 13 degrees, and it's a lot of energy around 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a synchronistic. This is when things start to get very synchronistic and very like, okay, if I don't do this, this won't happen. But if I do this, this will happen. It's like setting up yourself up for either failure or success, right? So be mindful of that. End up what I was looking at really honestly was just the conjunction that was still, well, the squaring that was still happening between Mars and Venus to Jupiter and Taurus. It was just a lot of like restraint of something, like somebody's getting restraint. Maybe it could be a police arrest that is major that is happening on today. um but it seems like somebody is going to, well, yeah, as you can see, this big triangle right here between the fourth house and the eighth house. The fourth house, the sixth house, and the eighth house, it makes a triangle, and it's giving me very much like it's trying to block out the negative energy to focus on the positive energy. But the energy that I was getting for today was the synchronizations. So just make sure that you stay clear of stay clear and know what your intuition is trying to tell you so that you can get to a betterment and you won't be confused come today or the incoming days. So, I wrote a lot for this day. Basically, okay. Okay, you guys. Okay, can I keep it real? Can I keep it real? Hold on. I'm gonna keep it real for you. Can I do that? Can I do that? Can I keep it real with you guys for a couple of seconds? Can I keep it real? I'm getting tired. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm getting tired. Now, I don't know if this is this Jupiter and Taurus that is just beating me up or what, but it's like I lack like a lot of energy drain. Like I just feel so drained of energy. And I'm trying to not be drained of energy. I'm trying to find something to find better. But okay, we're gonna fight through it. Woo. Mm. Just give me a second, please. Okay. But yeah, so Venus, what I will focus on in order after, because I mean, what I will focus on in order is will start with Venus because I just did Pluto, and nothing has really happened with Pluto since I did Pluto, and Pluto was the first thing. It's still controlling and ruling over the rest of the planets right now. On underneath the surface, it's just like from the public eye, it's more so like we have this under control, and then the reality is like, you don't, you need to fix it, kind of energy. So but it's not really coming back to haunt you yet. It's like it's going to start if you don't start fixing your issues um and helping others. Okay, it says Venus in the third house at 4 degrees in Aquarius, so it says love for the community, neighborhood, or home front, love for siblings, being helpful for those who help us. Conjunct Venus conjunct Pluto in Aquarius at 7 degrees. Um, it also conjuncts Mars in the third house at 5 degrees. It says friction with love outwardly and inwardly, overpowering the feminine, trying to force a power dynamic. So honestly, it's like a bunch of like friction between. I've noticed like a lot of divide between women and men. Honestly, or especially specifically on Twitter because I'm a Twitter head. Or sorry, X. I'm sorry. I'm trying to not be so stubborn and actually state the name of it. X. So I am trying to it is kind of giving me like the energy around like people not wanting to find a common ground. People just wanted to butt heads instead of trying to say, well, Let's find a solution, which eventually at the end of the week, I think it will be some type of resolution that will begin to, not a peace treaty yet. It won't be a peace treaty sign, but it will become like not a ceasefire, but some sort of understanding within the communication where it's like, okay, where do we go from here? Energy, right? So then we have Mars in the third house at 5 degrees in Aquarius, and its conflict with communities, groups, groups, gangs, or gays, the GGG. Okay. Or siblings, boy versus girl energy, power struggle. It says square Jupiter at 9 degrees in the seventh house. So it could be recklessness and extreme reaction to groups. And it also conjuncts Pluto in Aquarius at 0 degrees. And it was a song that I really was thinking of this while doing this was we got all the smoke, so who won it? Yeah, you say you bad, well, just let me know it. I don't know the words like that 100%, but I do know that specific song is like, we got all the smoke, so who won it? Yeah, you say you bad, well, just let me know it. Yeah, okay. So just be mindful of that, honey, and focus on with this Mars in the third house. Focus on your goals is what it's really saying. Like focusing on, because I feel like, especially because it just left Capricorn, it's not going to be as easy to just push your emotions under the rug because sooner or later they will explode. Because one thing about Aquarius, they feel a lot, they just don't say a lot, and they move accordingly, right? Hold on, yeah. Okay. So it says for Mercury in Aquarius in the third house at 24 degrees, it says being more blunt than usual, right? Finding balance with what you say, feel, and do. And then also it conjuncts the sun at 1 degrees. It says your mouth getting you in trouble. Square, it also squares Uranus at 19 degrees in Taurus in the seventh house. Um, and it says feeling like you won't get along with the people around you or the people that you meet. Um, or maybe you're not getting along with like social media fans or certain fan groups or something like that. That's what the energy could be. This could be later in the day because it's foreshadowing. This is the 20th, so I'm showing you what could possibly happen. Um, and then it says the sun in Pisces in the fourth house at 1 degrees. It says shining the illusions in the limelight, getting famous for exposing someone. It says Saturn in the in Pisces in the fourth house at 8 degrees. Lessons and karmas coming back. Lessons and karmas. Lessons and karma coming back around and being the main focal point. Girl, I can't read my own handwriting, job. It says sextile to the moon in Cancer at 13 degrees. It says secrets getting positive feedback if exposing someone or cheating or checking someone. Now, this could eventually come back to bite people in the butt if you're just randomly exposing somebody that don't need to be exposed. But if you're exposing somebody with valid warranty or like valid, like is warranted, it's going to make sense to the general public. Like they're gonna be like, okay, this person was okay. I see why they did what they did because it was just like their hands were tied in that place or in that at that point, right? So it says sextile to Jupiter and Taurus at 9 degrees. maybe leaving or learning how to better budget money, trying to save and have some type of control. So it could be control over your money, control over yourself, control over your savings. But whatever you're trying to have control over, you want to have the sole control over it. You want to have that sole possession energy, right? And then it says Neptune and Pisces in the fourth house at 26 degrees again. So it says expose your limelight in order to build foundation, is what I said. And then I also said Jupiter and Taurus in the seventh house at 9 degrees. So I said learning how to save money again, focusing on what's important and what is harmful. And then I said also sixth house to the moon in Cancer at 13 degrees, expanding for the better with regardless to moving up in the hierarchy. Regardless of whether moving up in the hierarchy, you're going to have to get to a point of evolution and increase. I pay for. I don't even know that song. That song just came in my head. Maybe you could be a church baby, but yeah. So this is really all I have for this. And now we're going to take a break. Go get you something to drink, something to eat, get you a snack, honey, and we'll be right started. Give me a sec. What? Hold on, y'all. Happy I went on break because if I wanted to do it right after, I wouldn't have been able to in the first place. Wait a minute. Hey, boo. Hi, love bug. How are you? I'm trying to get it to the point where y'all can see this chart that I'm doing, but for some reason it's not working. So I'm taking a break. If you weren't here already, okay. Sorry, I had to take a little smoke break, y'all. Let's go back here. Are we good? Hold on. Let's see, baby. Come on. Yes, there we go. All right. On the money. Oh, but KB. So for February the 21st, all right, we have, I can literally feel how it felt to write this. Like, I was so lackluster with this. Like, I tried to do it, but it was like, I don't know how to I do know how to explain it, but I'm not gonna say it online. Like, I'm gonna put it in a community tab when I get on YouTube because my girls on YouTube get me. So it's like, um, I'm gonna talk to them, okay? Because those are my girls. But on February the 21st, we enter into Pluto in Aquarius at 0 degrees in the third house. So the energy that I was getting for that was the same that I was getting before: rebuilding, revolution, creating, controlling a group of people, and controlling yourself. It says squares the moon in Cancer at 25 degrees in the ninth house. So it could be problems with school, could be another school shooting, it could be, and I don't mean to say that just to say a blunt, but it could be another one that you hear about that is major that's on the news. So be watchful of that. Now, I'm not saying I want that to happen. I'm just simply saying that it's a possibility with astrology right now. Learning plans. You could be learning something new. And the reason why I say that, like I said, is the moon and Aquarius are squaring each other. So just be mindful of that. I'm not saying it's a major square, but we don't really know with Pluto and Aquarius because this really hasn't happened in this generation. So we're just going to see what it is like. So it also says thinking like students and learning from teachers. That's what my actual quote of the day was going to be: thinking like students and learning from teachers. It says trouble with water, so you could have a pipe burst or a pipe leakage, or something along those lines. Something that is very, probably cost worthy. Maybe it's not going to be your fault though. Um, I could be. I said getting sick more, because Cancer rules like sickness and in health for some reason. It rules like um creation and birth and motherly energy. So it could be, like I said, getting sick more, so somebody might need to come and take care of you or something like that. It says new disease popping out. So it could be, and I just seen something on TikTok today where it said that some type of this new disease was coming out, and or something like that. I don't know. I scrolled past it because I didn't want that in my energy because I didn't want that to be manifested. So I was very watchful and very observant of not trying to make that a big thing. Um, it says it conjuncts Venus. Pluto conjuncts Venus at 5 degrees in the third house. I said some type of judgment or judging amongst the communities. So it could be somebody coming to a point of like, oh, they're bashing someone, like you shouldn't be here because you did this. Like, you know how like people did, and I'm specifically picking up this person, but you know how people kind of did, the black community kind of did R. Kelly. That's the energy that I'm kind of getting, but I think it's going to be reversed. I think people are going to start coming out to the like major fan bases and like cussing them out one individually because people just don't understand how to, keep their mouths closed or not really speak on something that they don't know about, right? It says also Pluto conjunct Mars at 6 degrees in the third house. So it's problems dealing with the music industry, entertainment industry, problems with streaming services. I don't know why I specifically got that, but it could also be because of that. Because Venus is the planet of um beauty, arts, and music, and Mars is the planet of like masculine energy, working and business to me. Also, Jupiter and Taurus gives me business energy, so it could be something around um, a business collapsing. So it could be something around streaming services going and force stopping and not being able to enter and entering into the app will be a problem or something like that. Okay. And I said Neptune and Pisces in the fourth house. Or wait, no, not Neptune. Did I? So I just skipped the whole thing. So I see Mercury at 26 degrees. I see Neptune at 26 degrees. I think that's what I meant to say. Um, both of those could be significant because not Jupiter, but Mercury is the planet of thinking, feeling, and saying. So it could be something around where you feel like you're not good enough at this moment, like you don't feel like you're going to ever be able to reach your highest peak because you're so focused and stuck on what you do and don't have. So maybe you could be, especially with this Pisces and Sun energy, and at second, or wait, especially with this Sun in Pisces at 2 degrees, it's definitely given about like breaking down that barrier within yourself so that you can find your own peace, your own happiness, and your own tranquility, because it's giving me like you don't believe in yourself. And because you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to get what you want, kind of energy. And then with Saturn, mind you, all three of these um, planets conjunct each other. So it's a lot of energy around friction of believing, achieving, and succeeding, because it's I think all of those things tie into each other, but I think all three of those things are very, very different, because you some people may not even believe and be very good at succeeding. Some people may be good at succeeding but not really good at achieving what it is they want. They might be good at just succeeding or just going by or passing by a type of energy. And some people may be good at achieving but not good at succeeding, which means that to me, where people look at you as you're the victor instead of the victim. So maybe people may look at you as the victim or somebody that victimizes themselves energy type, where you're probably just the opposite, and you try and just get them to understand and explain like this is not that, like, you know what I'm saying, this is how I feel, this is how it should be type energy, right? Okay, so now we can get to Neptune being in Pisces in the fourth house at 26 degrees. So I was saying childlike energy coming out, building on bad soil. That is an old saying that I heard before. I don't know where I heard it from, but I heard it a long time ago. And it says Neptune trines the moon, which was really shocking. Neptune trines the moon in Cancer at 25 degrees. So, excuse me. So honestly, what I said for this simply was the past coming back to bite, because both of those numbers I believe equal 7 or 8. Both of those numbers equal 7 or 8. So it's literally saying the past year is literally coming back around. So something from the past year, the past 6 months, the past 9 months may be coming back in this coming day to bring forth some type of resolution so you don't have to go through this situation no more, or you don't have to keep bringing it up. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. So ooh, okay. So that was the 21st, you guys. Let's go on to the 22nd. Mm, I thought this was the best one. Okay, now as you can see, you don't really see any positive energy in this one. You see something, but it's like this is going to be a lackluster day, because guess what? Pluto has finally moved into 1 degrees in Aquarius. So if you thought that people weren't going to be blunt before, oh, you've been sadly mistaken. The Aquarius energy that just passed was the energy that was going to be for probably the rest of the freaking year until Pluto goes back into retrograde into Capricorn for a little bit. So just be mindful and watchful of that because that might something may end up happening where especially with the new moon in Leo. Well, no, actually, I think it's uh waxing or yeah, I think it's a waxing gibbous. Um, coming into contact with Pluto at 1 degrees, it could be a lot of energy where it's like wanting to go after what you want but not being able to because you're supposed to be doing X, Y, Z. So just be mindful and watchful of that. Also, um, not getting any sleep, a restless night, maybe like because what happened to me today was my fire alarm went off. So maybe you could get woken up out your sleep randomly, or maybe when you wake up, something crazy has happened and you didn't expect it. That's what I'm seeing for the 22nd of um, February. And then I said the start of acting on your actions, whether that be people or things, because it could be a lot of sexual energy that's happening right now. Because Pluto is in Aquarius. So maybe you want to do things with multiple people or help multiple people, whatever, right? And then it says it squares the moon at 7 degrees in the ninth house. So it says steps forward to releasing what is hidden, but all things don't need to be known, honestly. So some things you can tell yourself is what it's saying. Like some things, sometimes we don't need to go to social media. This is what I'm saying. So sometimes we don't need to go to social media to tell everybody everything. Like sometimes you just need to deal with that shit yourself. Sometimes you just gotta go. Like the social media should be your last resort to like expressing yourself to me because unless you're like a content creator or you just do it because you keep in contact with your friends, but if you are just telling people like your entire business, and I don't mean like oh um I don't mean like oh get ready with me, no, I mean like you they know like how many bodies you got, what type of panties you got on, stuff that's just okay, it's not even that it's get your money how you get your money. I'm not judging. I'm just simply saying it's just certain things that people just don't need to know. And I think it's coming a time in social media history where people are going to stop being so engulfed with every single thing someone does. And some people, it may be due to just opposite, where people are completely engulfed in everything that you do and want to know more about your story. So just be mindful of that, right? And then it says conjunct Venus at 6 degrees in Aquarius, and it also conjuncts Mars in 6 degrees in Aquarius. Now, what was surprising to me was how um, now both um, the Venus and Mars are parallel to each other. So it's like now, like it's just the energy of uneasiness. Like I don't know, it's just something uneasy about this conjunction because I want to go to sleep so bad, but it's like and not tell you what it is that I want to tell you, but it's something about like something uneasy. I need to cleanse my energy. Okay. I got the stage going, y'all, because baby, I'm about to get me honey. But yeah, so I said trying to find balance during all of the chaos, settling or setting people up, or harboring jealous negative energy is what I said for this. So just be watchful of who you're around on the 22nd because it's a lot of, friction or hating ass energy or whatever. So just be watchful of that. And just don't fall for the negative Nancy's. Okay? Don't fall for him. Don't fall for him. Don't fall for him. And this is February the 23rd. Um, child, let me see. So the only thing that I really noticed here is that there's a lot of eights, there's a lot of ones, there's a lot of sevens, there's a lot of um nines, and I see twos. I see twos, I see fours, I see eights, I see a seven. So it's a lot of energy around four, honestly. Or trying to break that limit energy is what I'm getting for this. Like, especially, I don't know why the moon is opposed so strongly to Uranus. It's like people don't want people to be unique anymore. People don't want people to be happy with their sexuality. People don't want to be okay with um, being like it's like people are trying to force people to be masculine if they're supposed to be masculine, and forcing people to be feminine if they're supposed to be feminine, right? But in life we realize that there are such thing as a divine feminine, a divine masculine, a karmic feminine, a karmic masculine, and you realize that there's certain things that you can and can't do while doing both of those things, right? Or while learning those things and learning who you are in between the two. Now, you don't want to be a karmic masculine or a karmic feminine, but a lot of people are. A lot. Okay. If there's 8 billion people in the world, 7 billion of them are karmic masculines and karmic feminines. Um, and that's the truth. But like I was saying, I don't really see nothing really major popping out. I feel like this is going to be the lackluster day. Friday is going to be like, finally, like that type of energy where it's like I'm here, I'm there, I'm aware. Who's there? You know what I'm saying? Energy, right? So we're gonna just skim on to because I'm running a little bit behind. I was been supposed to finish, so we're going to go ahead and do this one. This is for Saturday. Now, Saturday is like completely confusing to me because I thought the week was going to get better, but no, it doesn't get worse. It just balances itself out, honestly. So it's like, I'm hearing the song by Mary Mary Believer. That song has been stuck in my head. So maybe you're getting to a point, especially with that sun and Pisces opposing that moon and Virgo, you're trying to perfect maybe who you are spiritually or who you are self-worth wise, like what it is that you need to accomplish in order to get to, a place of being content with where you are and who you are type energy, right? So just be mindful of that. Now, I also see this, like I said again, this strong concept between Jupiter, Venus, and Mars. I don't know why. Maybe the universe is trying to push two people together and it's not working out the way that they want them to. They want it to. So maybe it's getting to a point where, like, yeah, like I said, somebody's trying to push a relationship forward or push a relationship together, but it's not working out for the greater good because it feels disingenuous. It doesn't feel right. Um, but we'll see, right? And then let me see. I see a bunch of ones. Uh, on the 24th, I'm assuming Mercury enters into Pisces at 1 degrees on 12 a.m. Let's see. Yeah, and then oh, I thought that this was Venus and Mars. No, it's a a big opposition with Mercury and the Moon. Wow. So somebody doesn't, and they both at 1 degrees. Oh, wow. So somebody doesn't want you to go after what it is that you believe, or somebody doesn't want you to go after your goals or what makes you happy or things of that nature. Someone wants you to stay stuck, honestly. Especially, yeah, somebody doesn't want you to find yourself. Someone doesn't want you to grow within yourself, especially with that Virgin Mary Virgo right there. It's a lot of energy around not your craft, your creations in the 10th house. So maybe it's people that's doubting you in your career field, or maybe in the home front. But either way, it's still getting to a point where it's annoying you and it's making you have more doubt in yourself than you actually have, motivation to do it. So you gotta make sure that you put your best foot forward and leave the rest behind so that you won't look crazy, and do what it is that you need to do, child. Um, and then the sun is squaring the moon, which is odd because it's like a what do you want energy. I don't know. It's the energy around like because the square is Mars. So it's like energy around maybe somebody's coming back from the past to try and take you out of your career path, or maybe somebody at work could be trying to holler at you or something along those lines. Just be mindful of what it is that you're, putting yourself and getting yourself into, honey. Um, so let's see what else. Is there anything else? Oh, yes, this is what I want to talk about. The Chiron and the North Node in Aries. So I feel like this whole week was set up by those two mother freakers right there. Those two mother freakers are parallel to each other right now, and they're causing chaos and havoc, honey. Chaos and havoc, honey. They're causing chaos and havoc. So just be mindful of, I love saying just be mindful, I guess, but just be watchful of what's going on with this. And I will see you guys on another day. I gotta go. So I've been up here for 111 and we've done our big one. Okay. And it's crazy because I was just talking about how it was, um, we're trying to see why there were so many ones. Wait, I'm a believer. All right, you guys, I gotta go. I love you guys so much. I do have stuff coming for y'all. I do have something big coming for y'all. Just be mindful and be watchful of that. And I love you guys so much. I gotta go. Bye bye.